I was very interested, even as a boy, in psychosomatics and their effect on health. And that's what I entered medical school with excitement about. I left that area after my internship 8 years before psychoimmunology became psychoneuroimmunology and a legitimate field. And so I've been watching all of these things developed well after I've been excited about them, and want to just do more and more in this area.
Now, what does it feel like to be this person who thinks in a way that no one else thinks?
It's a variety of things. It's sometimes very lonely,
yeah,
and sometimes very exciting. And right now I'm feeling excited about it. It is a little frustrating, though, to be seeing what's going to happen in the next 10 or 20 years and feel like you're yelling in a crowded mall and nobody hears you.
Yeah. So what do you see coming down the pike in the next few years?
Well, I think that our people and government and mankind are going to have to make some choices, because, you know, for instance, smoking was suspect as a problem 40, 50, 60 years ago. We used to call cigarettes cancer sticks when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. But it was not officially a dangerous pastime. Even chain smoking. People knew that it probably caused trouble, but you couldn't go into court and say, this is a problem, tell the guy in back of me to stop smoking while I'm, you know, in the cubicle I'm working in, because it wasn't a proven thing. Well, we have lots and lots of things out there that are causing us tremendous harm that are not proven yet. It will take a generation before they're really proven. And I think that one of the big decisions that's going to be facing people is whether we start getting on top of things when we suspect and have lots and lots of implicatory evidence that they're causing trouble before we actually have all the death and destruction and harm that comes from them. And I think that people are going to begin to become aware that maybe we shouldn't have to wait a full generation before we do this.
So what are some of the items that you're referring to?
Well, I think there's a big controversy now about mercury and its effect on autism and other kinds of disorders. We know there's a lot of problems with heavy metal toxicity, and there are different areas in our legal structure and on our planet where there are problems. Open mining of mercury, burning high mercury fuels, coal that floats across the country and then deposits in our fish, so that pregnant women in New York State are only allowed to eat fish once a month. There's got to be a problem there. So we haven't really been able to tackle these things. That's one. The 80,000 chemicals that we have in use today that are creeping into our food supply and our air and our water, there are a lot of those that are causing some harm, and we've got to begin to decide whether we want to accept the burden. We're seeing disorders that didn't exist before, like autism, which used to be a few out of 100,000, and now are, 130 out of 1 out of 130 people develop autism, kids. And there's a lot of suspicion that there may be some contribution by mercury, by vaccination, and by electromagnetic forces and other things in the environment that have crept in over the years. We don't have proof on this, but there's smoke. And as one says, where there's smoke, there may be fire.